Good morning, everyone. Thank you for waking up with us early on this Tuesday morning. I mentioned the snow and ice for the gorge. We had tons of rain yesterday. Rod, here. What are we in for today?
Well, from my chair, even where we have storm warnings continuing up in Mount Hood and also out in the gorge, including Hood River, all areas will see quite a bit drier and quieter weather than we have seen the last 2 days. So that's some good news. Here's the radar behind me. Now, we're still going to see our share of rain. You can see it's raining in downtown Portland right now, still snowing out in the Columbia River Gorge. And we have snow levels down to about 1,000 feet in the hills outside of Scappoose. And also when you get up into the Coast Range, we have snow all the way down to 600 feet this morning on some of those cameras. Downtown Portland, 41 degrees. That's not too bad. To the bus stop we go. Showers this morning, about 39 on average out at the bus stop. And then eventually this afternoon, rain picks up and becomes more widespread again, about 44 when the kids get out of school. We'll talk detail forecast for you folks out in the gorge coming up in just a moment.
All right. Thank you, Rod. Well, today, a lot of folks anxious to see how conditions may change on Highway 26 near Mount Hood. That road shut down yesterday and it's still closed this morning. This was the scene last night just west of Rhododendron with semi-trucks lined up waiting to get through. Many cars were stuck in the deep snow, which fell hard and fast. Tow truck driver Lance Boson was busy all day long giving people a hand.
I had someone tell me, that they really appreciate what we do and that we're out here actually doing it when a lot of people aren't.
So for skiers and boarders, it was a frustrating day. They wanted to hit the slopes and enjoy all that snow, but because of dangerous conditions, Ski Bowl and Timberline both closed. Mount Hood Meadows was the only one in the area open. A spokesperson tells us their staff and about 1,000 guests were already there before that big snowstorm hit.
Meanwhile, I-84 and SR-14 are back open this morning, but look at this. This is a shot from ODOT late last night that shows just how snow-covered I-84 is at Cascade Locks. Some spots around there saw more than 2 feet of snowfall in the span of 24 hours starting Sunday. Drivers that did make it through before roads were closed told us the problems they encountered went beyond just snow.
Look at this.
Trees like crazy were just covering the road, a lot of debris just from snow and ice piling onto the trees, crashing them down.
Again, though, I-84 back open this morning between Troutdale and the Dalles after what ended up being a 19-hour closure. But out in eastern Oregon, another section of 84 remains closed this morning between Pendleton and Baker City because of high winds and snow. ODOT says some drivers are trying to get around road closures and a lot of those drivers are ending up stuck. ODOT also says that there is very little chance of those drivers getting any help until conditions improve. Snow plowing has also stopped in those areas because snowplow drivers simply cannot see the road at this point. You can check for the latest on road closures by going to tripcheck.com.
All right, now to the latest with the pandemic. And listen to this. So just in the past 4 days, nearly 10,000 Oregonians have tested positive for COVID. Omicron is that contagious. That includes a new record for the most cases in one day. Last Thursday, just over 3,500 new cases were reported. Healthcare leaders are worried as hospitalizations are going up. Now, this next graph shows the number of people hospitalized in Oregon with the virus. And you see the high point right there was September with more than 1,100 people in the hospital. Right now, it's closer to 500. Experts like Peter Graven from OHSU, though, expect that number to soon go higher.
What we're seeing is a trend, and it's zeroing in on Oregon next. It's essentially imminent. We know that Omicron makes up, a large share of all the cases right now and is expected to spread through both the vaccinated and unvaccinated populations and shortly.
He pointed out that many who do not have booster shots are getting infected. He also said the number of kids getting COVID is also on the rise.
Well, we've seen the impact the fast-moving variant is having on air travel. Airlines are canceling thousands of flights every single day, partly because they have so many employees out with COVID. And the airlines are not alone. So we wanted to know, how are staffing levels looking for essential services like healthcare?
That's right. From small pharmacies to big hospital systems, planning is underway at this point to deal with the Omicron surge. KGW's Alma McCarty has more.
at Brooklyn Pharmacy in Southeast Portland. Signs on the door signal different COVID-related messages to customers, from vaccine availability to the lack of at-home tests.
So far, we've been really lucky, knock on wood, that we have not had any significant illness here, so we hope to continue that.
Owner Pat Hubble says his team is hard at work, filling orders, administering vaccines, and keeping up with safety measures as COVID cases begin to surge.
Protective plexiglass at the counter, spacing on the floor. My pharmacy, we have a small staff, and if we do have a small outbreak here, it can be a situation where we may have to close the doors for a day or two just to see if we can get everybody back on track before, we don't have any issues infecting anybody else.
On a larger scale,
really trying to protect against the tidal wave of community spread that ultimately will be here.
Virginia Garcia's Health and Safety Programs Manager Hazel Wheeler says they're also looking ahead while handling the current strains and shortages many systems are dealing with.
There will definitely be positives. There's just no way around that. And then the exclusions that will result from that and the contact tracing that we'll have to execute will definitely be something that we have to deal with. And I know that we're starting our planning on what that sort of constrained staffing looks like. But to this point, that's not really what the driver is of issues. It's just 2 years of pandemic.
Kevin Mealy, spokesperson for the Oregon Nurses Association, says staff shortages have been an issue for a long time. So it will be even more of a challenge in the weeks and months ahead with a highly transmissible variant.
So those gaps that were always there are now more apparent because nurses aren't able to be the Band-Aid that stretches over them and holds them together. And the fact that we've been reliant on solutions like traveling nurses and the National Guard speaks to the staffing crisis we're feeling right now. Our hospitals were only able to run at a very stretched emergency capacity with those supports in place. Without them and with more cases, we're looking at a very dire situation.
Alma McCarty, KGW News.
As students across Oregon return to class from winter break, the state issued a new health advisory for school districts and the community. It doubles down on safety protocols, asking districts to encourage vaccines, boosters, face coverings, and physical distancing. The bulletin also encourages districts to go further by pausing extracurricular activities.
If we have enough staff members and frankly even enough students who get breakthrough cases and have Omicron, then you will see some school closures.
To lessen the chance that will happen, Gill says districts choosing to continue extracurricular activities need to make sure they're enforcing the same safety precautions already in place during the regular school day. And the U.S. is expanding COVID boosters for teenagers. The Food and Drug Administration officially approved extra Pfizer shots for children as young as 12 yesterday. Boosters are already recommended for everyone 16 and older. The FDA also said everyone eligible for a Pfizer booster can get one as early as 5 months after their last dose rather than 6 months. This is not the final step, though. The CDC must also give approval. That could come as early as tomorrow.
All right, 5:09 this morning. Let's go back to the Weather Center where more snow is headed to the mountains today, Ron.
Yeah, but again, from my chair, the news is pretty good. Clearly, that heavy snow rates that really caused all of the problems, that's behind us. Now we're just dealing with another day. It's going to drop some snow before temperatures in the gorge finally start to warm up tomorrow. So the warnings for the gorge and Mount Hood up until midnight. Hood River today, another 3 to 6 inches of snow. Again, they have anywhere from 22 to 30 inches on the ground are the reports that I've seen. Icy mix could be in play today at times. Mount Hood, another 8 to 12 inches today. And then Wednesday gorge temperatures for the Hood River Valley warming to 35 to 40 degrees. Temperatures have been just kind of sitting around freezing for the past 24 hours. There's Hood River at 32 and Mosier at 31. The Dalles, good morning to you at 32 degrees. This is the ODOT camera right now live out in Cascade Locks. Again, we're reporting for you that 84 is open, and you can see that they've got this down to, well, it looks to be icy pavement to me. So again, open roadways, but very slow traveling conditions continue. Here's the big radar picture. We've got snow still falling out in the gorge and in the Cascades, but snow rates here generally fairly light right now. We do have snow down to around 600 feet in the Coast Range. Sunset Highway very snow covered. 35 degrees. This is US 30 up in the Rainier Summit area. So that's slow going depending on which road you take. Here are the temperatures: 41 in Salem and Portland, 32 out in the Dalles we mentioned, and 20-degree temperatures out east this morning. 7-day forecast numbers: Portland morning showers, rain picking up. There's a wave that comes up from our south during the afternoon. Basically, we have rain at times all the way into Friday morning. And then we're dry Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday into Monday. How about that? Sunday we get an east wind. That can give us a sunny blue sky. That's where you look up and you don't see any clouds. It's just a blue sky. Haven't seen that in a while?
No, we appreciate the definition because I kind of forgot what that clear blue sky can look like. Thank you, Rodney. This is what's coming up next here on Sunrise. Well, for starters, we're going to tell you about this Northwest organization that saved a single mom and her young kids when they desperately needed the help. We have this story in 5 minutes, but first, we have a report from our Verify team this morning. Our Verify team is going to break down why surgical masks do offer better protection for you than cloth masks.